common frame of reference. You can sit down at a hotel bar and have a 3-hour conversation about
Well,
that.
actually, Steve, I remember meeting you when I was buying a resin kit for the detector.
Oh yeah, that was quite nice.
And you know, there was a lot of different resin kits. The business, particularly with 1/48 scale, is very large.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Really, I mean,
The command deck alone took up most of your living room.
I've now moved it, and it hangs above my bedroom, which has really curtailed the action I've been getting lately, but it's that's not the reason.
So what we want to start with, I think, I mean, Galaxy Quest, the show, there were some rights issues or something. The show was kind of released a little bit as VHS in the early days. I think there was laserdiscs through CBS Video.
There were 10 laserdiscs released with 2 episodes each, so. You know, like they do with X-Files?
The problem is that when they started releasing the laserdiscs had already gone out of use. Not very much use to anybody.
I was really upset because if you remember the last laserdisc they released, it was the actual last episode of the 2nd season, which was that incredible cliffhanger, The Fires of Uranus Part 1. It never released Part 2. If you remember, it was like the 3rd episode of the 3rd season, so it wasn't really a cliffhanger.
Right. Well, you know, because they started the 3rd season with enemy friend, enemy foe, and they skipped over the 2nd part.
And it wasn't until the 3rd. My God, I waited all summer for that.
Well, if you watch, if you watch them in syndication, they show them all out of order, so you can't tell what happens anymore. Anyway, but when you know
they cut 11 minutes out of the syndication.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they cut 11 minutes.
Maybe on Blu-ray they'll go back.
But no, that 11 minutes out of the shows they cut is mostly the radio. You know, I know. I like this, but the radio.
The radio. The boy pilot.
That guy, you know, you never liked him. You were the first person to rail against Broadway.
Okay. Actually has a big announcement later on in the panel too. It's big. So Steve, you were going to tell what we're going to show.
Yeah, we're going to start with a little rarely seen video. It was broadcast once or twice in 1999.
Yeah. When they released
The movie.
Two.
The one good thing that came out of that film was the cast, the original cast was reunited and they were filmed.
And they were paid.
It never looked better.
Should never look better, but they made a documentary about the original show, the documentary that they never made back in the early 80s. So it was a great time to see them, you know, with the creator reminiscing and everything, so we thought we'd show a little bit of that. Part of the quality, I mean, it was take-up television, you know, it was a little...
Well, you know, the one thing about the movie was it wasn't 2, 3, 5, and 1, as opposed to the 4x3 aspect ratio of the original show. I mean, you know, and the transfer technology, it's never looked very good in some cases. But the movie did have that polished sheen.
But they fired him. Oh, it's not Charlie Sheen.
No.
We're going to show you this documentary. We may show all of it, we may not. It just depends on how we feel.
On its way to distant galaxy. I don't like it. Each week, its crew of daring space adventurers took on a new mission and a new foe. Nothing ever stopped this intrepid band of space pioneers. No matter what they encountered, they were always in control. Surrender. No. Never give up. Never surrender. Well, I have to say it was, as a commander of a spaceship. And I got paid for it. Although not much of it after, yeah, we were For the first time since the show still had that iteration, the original cast members of Galaxy Quest had reunited for a major motion picture. Jason Nexon, Wayne DeMarco, and Alexander Dane as they share their adventures and tell the real story behind the legendary TV show that has become America's #1 science fiction cult classic. All who had to do was here. She's never done it.
Sometimes I felt like, sort of the camp counselor with a bunch of, like, toddlers, kind of practical ones.
Now, I wasn't sure that it was going to be, 15 years on, I'd still be talking about it, but of course I'm thrilled.
Buckle your seatbelts and prepare to discover the real stories in the Galaxy Quest 20th Anniversary Special. The journey continues.
The Galaxy Quest is the nature of humanity and the world.
Galaxy Quest is not just an experience out into space, but inside your individual heart.
It's really struck a nerve in the heart of most Americans, I think.
I'll admit, the book was fake and nothing really made sense, but I just see it as a metaphor for my own life.
Yes, sorry, rolls on fence around the love of. They didn't mind the girls did attractive.
We went off the air 20 years ago, and I think that was probably a little premature by about 20 years.
I think that they just gave up, because they didn't think enough space is where it was at.
We had some pretty rabid fans, and there were people all upset all over the country.
I have people call me all the time, sending me letters, asking me for scripts, asking me for props. They wanted to buy this. Do you have any? I still get letters.
It's always nice to see good work being honored.
A lot of quality in the TV show, harking back to an earlier time, 15, 20 years ago, when this country was in a different kind of shape, heroism was a different thing.
But we did try to get Orson Welles to direct a few episodes. He had this one called The Blurring Blimp. It was about an alien that was filled with hydrogen. Now back to the Galaxy Quest 20th Anniversary Special.
Okay. Well, as you know, Lord Alexander Dane doesn't do any interviews anymore about this, and I think that's a bit of a shame because he certainly was an integral part to the show. But if he wants to be a jerk.
Maybe we'll get elevated to Sir Patrick Stewart's level, and once he becomes a Sir at night.
Lord is bigger than a Sir.
Yeah, Lord, I say that that's Sir. Either way.
So, let's. I'd like to really open it up just to a couple questions from the audience. Tell us about your favorite episodes or your reminiscence of when you used to watch the show. Anyone? Yes, sir.
You guys consider the animated series canon?
I do. A lot of people talk about there are 37 episodes of the original animated show. There's 3 seasons. It won a Peabody Award. I think what's interesting is when they changed animation companies from the Korean companies to the Japanese companies back to the American companies, the animation actually got worse. It didn't have the anime style that we all knew and loved. It just kind of looked like Star Blazers at first. I really liked what I consider canon.